Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the most difficult trading card games to get into. Since September of 2019, I've been spending £30 a week on sealed products trying to create my own competitive Dragon deck from scratch. No trading and no buying individual cards. So far we've spent over £1,000 on packs and achieved a second place regional top, securing an invite to the next European Championship. The ultimate goal is to top one of Yu-Gi-Oh's largest, most competitive events, and this is my journey. You're watching Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch. What's poppin'? Welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch, going strong with now 46 installments. Today's episode is going to be a big one because it's the release of... gonna open up and try to get... Before we do get into all that, we have a couple of peeps here to thank for throwing a penny in the direction of Papa Revs here. So big thanks going out to Nyakpu, I guess, Luna Nation, Simone Rovere, Safik Ashley, Jack Hawkins, and Trans Rights Are Human Rights. I see this little Patreon shoutout section is becoming a platform just for you to get me to say what you want me to say. Very clever, but if it allows me to afford a Tesco meal deal, then sure, go ahead. If you want to make your own contribution through either Patreon or YouTube channel memberships, links, as always, are in the description. So, the 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh! Mega Tin of Lost Memories. I have mixed feelings when it comes to this product because yes, there is so many good cards and so many rarity bumps in this tin, but at the same time, it's such a large set that literally every card is hard to pull. I would be very happy with any rarity bumps we pull that we can add to our deck, but the main reason we have these tins is for the Dragoon and also ideally 2 Starliege Seyfert. Both of these cards come as an ultra rare in the tins, and in the entirety of the set there is a total of 50 different ultra rares. Dragoon of course being the most important card that we want to pull, with each tin having 3 packs inside and each pack having 2 ultras. That gives us 6 in 50 chance of pulling a Dragoon per tin. 12% chance is very low, especially when the current stakes are so high. If we don't pull it, we're going to be at a massive competitive disadvantage and risk losing the kill streak, so we're going to need all the luck we can get on this one. You know exactly what that means. We're going to need all of the luck points, so help us out here one last time and smash that like button to help us pull the Dragoon. It's time. I'm nervous. £31.50 budget. £30 spent. £1.50. Yada yada yada. But we have 2 tins and therefore 12 chances at pulling our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Of course, Seyfert is a thing as well, and there is a bunch of rarity bumps like Savage, LP Pisty, World Legacy Guardragon, and they all look beautiful, so I will, even if we don't get Dragoon, I will be happy if we can make some form of upgrade to our Dragon Link deck. But I think with this product coming out, it's a little bit depressing because it's sort of a catalyst in proving that the series has gone on for too long, because all of these reprints essentially decreases the value of our from scratch collection and deck by a fair amount. So definitely a lesson to learn. You should not really be holding onto the same cards unless you're actually using them for a year, because reprints just basically make you lose money. Regardless though, it is part of the series, and here we have 6 packs of Lost Memories. So let's get into it. Oh man, this could go either way. If we get Dragoon, like, I feel like if it's not in the first pack, we're just not going to get it. So here we go. Wish us luck. 4 cases I've seen be opened, and all 4 of those cases have only had 1 Dragoon, and then I have seen a couple of cases being opened online that have had multiple Dragoons, so fingers crossed, here's hoping. We have Valkyrie Chariot in pack number 1, Fusion of Fire, Chimera T-Rexel. This might be useful in the Solomon Great deck, because I think we have 1 Fusion of Fire and 0 Violet Chimera, so that's something else we are on the lookout for. Chimera T-Rexel, Guardragon Reincarnation, Dino Wrestler Terra Parcurio, Guardragon Justicia, Beat Raptor as our first super rare here, Gladiator Rejection. Oh man, I'm just wanting to see this purple border on the ultras. Strength and Unity, Dragon Master Knight, one of the new Blue Eyes / Dark Magician cards. Very cool. And Win the Wind Charmer Verdant. Unfortunately, first pack is a dud, but this last secret rare here is a link. Is it?
Bruh.
A secret rare Romulus. Okay, there we go. Rarity bump to our Romulus. That's something. I'm happy with that. It could have also been a Striker Dragon, which would also be very nice. But I'll take a Romulus. So first pack here, not bad. Not bad at all. All right, let's move over to this one. Pack numero 5. We got Subterrors. Really struggling to convey emotion there. Don't know what's going on, to be honest. Wolvie, bony dinosaur dude with a beer belly, apparently. Bezel Ship, Yellow Dolphin, Hyper Psychic Riser, Motorbike Man, Infinitrack Trencher as our first super, Firewall, Dragon Dark Fluid, it's an effect monster, Psychic Wielder. We have a fusion, but it's a secret rare, unfortunately. So Psychic Wielder and Dirge of the Lost Dragon, followed by a Destiny Hero Dominance. Man, this pack was not great. Pack number 3, the halfway point. Can we get a Seyfert or a Dragoon? Or World Legacy Guardragon, because we do want a third. We have another Bezel Ship, You're in Danger, Paro, Valkyrie number 5, taking her sword out. Violet Chimera, there we go. So we have both pieces for our Salaman Great deck, followed up by the Sunlight Wolf as well, but we already have 3, so that's nothing too crazy. Bye-bye Damage as our super rare here. Witchcrafter, Miss Smug, followed up by the first ultra rare, which is Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. This is a very good ultra rare to get, but we don't use Gizmek, so it's unfortunately not useful. And the next ultra is a link. We have Salaman Great Pyro Phoenix. So we could actually reincarnate our Pyro Phoenix that we have. So that's very cool. And a secret, prismatic secret rare even, IP Masquerena. We already have the ultra rare, but we have a rarity bump here, so not bad. Not bad at all. We're halfway. We're halfway, and we've had a Romulus. A whole load of Salaman Great pools, though. Guardragon Garmides. We have Promenesis. This is a Guardragon pack. This is looking promising. Pegasus Wing. Cross Crusader in common. Time Thief Hack. Destiny Hero Draw Hand. Evil Eye Mesmerism as our first super rare. Test Panther as a super rare as well. It's a trap. We have Destined Rivals, followed up by No Material in Ultra. So neither of these are useful. We now have 2 No Materials, and secret is a Witchcrafter Edel, unfortunately. And some more commons. Destined Rivals is that skill drain Dark Magician card. Okay, 2 left. 2 to go. I'm really nervous now if it comes down to the wire. If it's in the final pack, that's like, oh man, content. Right, so we have Bigfoot here, getting roped down. Not very efficiently. Morchlag, Mr. Mining Man. World Legacy Cliffhanger. Speedburst Dragon. Wolvie. Reincarnation. Bye-bye Damage as a super rare again. Overburst Dragon. Oh, a second Gizmek Orochi. Oh man, okay, well that's not terrible. And another Salaman Great Pyro Phoenix. Is that the exact same pack? And a Witchcrafter Heine. Well, okay, I guess. Capshell and Aruha. Interesting, very interesting. Well, final pack, boys. It was nice knowing you. The kill streak is going to get ended by Dragoon. Oh god, right, Pegasus Wing. Martial Ankelo. Hita, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. Another Violet Chimera, we only need 1 though. Martial Anga. Destiny Hero Draw Hand. Unchained Soul of Disaster as our first super rare here. I see a Synchro in the secret slot, I believe. Is that a Borreload Savage upgrade? Oh, we got a Super Signet Mining, which is very nice. Marincess Coral Anemone. And we have Infinitrack River Stormer, but we have the beautiful, prismatic, secret rare Borreload Savage Dragon. So actually, this was not a bad opening because we got the Masquerena as well, but mining, we don't need that out because we already have 3, but it's a very nice super rare to pull. It's like £3, £4, still got a decent value to it. Borreload Savage Dragon. I'm so excited to put this in the extra deck. And we have Guru, Rakea, Escape, Crusher Run, Spiritual Entanglement, Vespasius, and Tyrant Farm. So, 2 rarity bumps. We got some Salomon Great additions, which will come in handy for when we make that final Salomon Great episode. But no Dragoon, no Seyfert, and no World Legacy Guardragon. So no new additions to the deck. Oh man, how are we going to deal with Dragoon? We're gonna have to find a way. Now, if you're living under a rock or don't really keep up with the game, you're probably getting sick of hearing about this Dragoon fella. What makes him so good? Well, using any 2 monsters, you can bring him out through the effect of Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. Neither player can target or destroy him with card effects, giving him protection from things like Gamma, Impermanence, or Ghost Ogre. He can non-targeting destroy up to 2 monsters on the opponent's side of the field and burn their life points for the attack value of those monsters as well. On top of that, he can also negate the activation and destroy any card or effect the opponent activates, and then gains 1000 permanent attack on top of his already high original 3000 attack at the cost of just discarding 1 card. Just a very easily accessible and powerful card all round that, in combination with everything else most decks can already do, makes it ridiculously hard to play against. So how can we stop this monstrosity? Well, one option is Ghost Reaper. She just yeets him out the opponent's extra deck, never to be seen again. The issue here is that you need your own copy to reveal, which we don't have. Silverrokket and the Trishula Fusion can both do the same thing, but I'd need to completely remodel the deck in order to take advantage of this, and that's just something I'm not prepared to do just yet. Some other recent options are Forbidden Droplet and Triple Tactics Talent. Both these cards are good methods of getting around him, but once again, as 2 secrets from Rise of the Duelist, we don't have them. Super Poly is a very good way to remove him from the field. However, most decks that are going to put him out can very easily just throw in the Buster Lock on top of it, meaning no access to the extra deck, and we didn't really have the space for it anyway. This brings me to my 2 options that we do have available: Dark Ruler No More and Gamma Seal. Dark Ruler No More is an infinitely better option as it shuts down the full enemy board, and we already have it in the side deck. Gamma Seal is interesting because against full Dragon Link and Adamancipator boards, it's just not as effective, only being able to remove 1 monster from the field. But I'll take what I can get. Ideally, Sphere Mode would be a better option, but that uses up your normal summon, and we don't have 3 copies anyway, unfortunately. So making room for Gamma Seal in the side deck, we're just gonna have to hope that we can do enough and not get blown out too hard. I've also opted to put Valor in the main deck instead of DD Crow. I feel like Lancea can take over his responsibility, while Valor is like an additional preventative measure to help stop the opponent getting to Dragoon through Anaconda. I'm pretty scared of decks like Mech Knight Invoked that can bait out all of your interruptions going second and then just blow up your board with any 2 monsters like they did with Rainbow Neos, but now with Dragoon. I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens on the battlefield. We're currently sitting on our personal best kill streak of 12, hopefully pushing that to 17 by fending off Dragoon, but I'll be happy if we can at least push our record up by at least 1, so yeah, let's go get him. Alright, changes have been made to our online DB list. Let's move over to our profile viewer here before we go into the ranked ladder. Starting off with 33 wins, hopefully we'll leave today with 38. Either way, let's start off with a new personal best kill streak. So hopping on over into round 1 here, we unfortunately lose the rock, paper, scissors, being made to go second, but our hand more than makes up for it. We have so much good stuff here, and the Nibiru to keep us safe as well. Turns out we're up against some kind of going first invoked strategy.
Ops misclick.
I'm not going to be too surprised if we see a Dogmatica variant, but this is going to render our Nibiru useless, with Mechaba coming out as summon number 4. Of course, from there our opponent is going to get the Alistair back into hand through the effect of Invocation, set 1 back row, and pass turn. You know, I don't even think it's possible to lose with this hand against this setup. I fire off the Foolish Burial first, purely as bait because we have a Dragon Shrine in hand anyway, so if the Foolish getting negated really doesn't matter, and it does bait out the Makaba. Chaos Space puts the Nibiru in the graveyard for a live Collapserpent, allowing us to fire off all of the chain links with Striker Dragon, Collapserpent, and Magius, but we do get met with a Veiler negating the Striker Dragon. It really doesn't matter which target he negates there because with our hand we still have the ability to combo off either way. So searching and summoning a second Arboria, we get up into a Noodle Fiber and get met with an Impermanence as well, but guess what? Not going to stop us. We have the Wyverburster, which is going to get us our LP. Man, this deck is just
too strong.
Are these chained to sword?
Yeah.
Game 2 going second once again, this time not being quite as lucky with the hand. Like, it's not bad, we can still combo assuming we go uninterrupted, but that is very unlikely against a deck like Dogmatika Invoked. Also, fuck Driver, I was in a really bad mood when I was playing these matches, so as soon as I seen Driver I was just, oh man, that set me off. Our opponent here starts with one of their 7 Alistairs. Going through the Invoked plays, I could have Veilered the Alistair, but honestly he would probably just have Invocation in hand already. So he gets out his Makaba and then starts to go off on some Dogmatika plays, but I Veiler the Freckles. The plan here was to just, I guess, make him discard a monster for Makaba, but he allows it to go through, I assume, out of fear of Nibiru. So it kind of worked in our favor, but we did top deck Gamma, which is definitely not an extender. Thankfully, Veiler stops us having to worry about Fleur-de-Lis, and Gamma Seal deals with the Makaba. So it's actually possible that he doesn't have any interruption and we can combo off, which we seem to be doing. Linking into the Noodle Fibrax, we can chain block it with the Exceed that we searched off of Skippy, and get Rafflesia on the board. Rafflesia really is a true deck mummy because just having her on board really puts your mind at ease. Not having to worry about hand traps while playing through your combo is just so nice. Like, what, you're gonna Ash my LP? Send in the Gravediggers, fuck your forehead, not happening. Oh, you also have Nibiru? Must be nice, man. Must be nice. So unfortunately we do just have to end our turn on the token, but honestly Dogmatika Invoked kind of lack damage output and are therefore unable to capitalize on opportunities like this and just take the game. I guess it is kind of hand dependent, but an Alistair is going to get our opponent here to an Invoked Aguades, which will pop the token and allow him to get in for a bunch of direct damage. We will be getting another turn because this is only 6,000 damage on board, plus 1,000 if you count the Alistair in hand, but he doesn't actually use it here. We have a Rokket in the graveyard, so Boot Sector Launch is going to be a free body every turn, and we top deck World Legacy Guardragon, which is perfect. So with Boot Sector Launch we bring back Rokket Synchron, and then activating World Legacy Guardragon we can bring back and trigger the Brotaur, ditching the Gamma to get a search for Collapserpent. Now I think if it wasn't for the destruction effect of Aguades, basically when your opponent special summons a monster you can target one monster on the field and destroy it, which he does. He gets rid of Arboria. We might have had the materials to win the game. Going through a Romulus and a Dragon Ravine, we can make a live Pisty thanks to World Legacy Guardragon and get a Borreload Savage on the field. This cleans up most of his board. We then make a Spheres in main phase 2, setting up some interruption for his turn. The Link Summon does, however, trigger a Phantasme in our opponent's hand. I don't know why I didn't use it earlier when I had Romulus and Pisty, because he would have drew 3 instead of 2, but we negate that with Borreload Savage and get the match back in our favor. He makes a second Makaba on his turn, which we make short work of by attempting to bounce with Spheres and then negating the Makaba negate to get it off the field. Now summoning a Spiral off the second effect of Spheres, he beats over it with Nibiru, putting it in the graveyard, but if we draw a Light or Dark Dragon, we can make Harbinger and potentially win the game. Okay, not what we were looking for, but we can pitch it off the Ravine, and then because we have a banished Magius, we can get another draw off the Chaos Space as well. Ah, man, ask and you just shall not receive. And of course our opponent gets an Ecclesia off the top, which searches for a punishment, and because we have no negates on Savage, that's going to destroy us completely, turning this into a big grind game. We have Seyfert in the graveyard, so if we pitch Levianeer off the Ravine, we can add it back to hand and potentially take it back. Honestly, if I had made that play right now, we would have just won the game, because I think the highest attack in the extra deck they run is 2800, so if I'd pitched the Skippy to get Levianeer and then blow up his board, we could attack for game. Unfortunately, I make the huge misplay of just summoning the Skipper, enabling the punishment, and getting our board wiped. Somehow, this game has devolved to the point where I'm buffing up Union Carrier constantly every turn with Lanceas to thin the deck and just have a big beefy train on the board. Content! We did lose game 2 and then ended up winning game 3 thanks to Anti-Spell and Hope Harbinger. So we are now on a 13 kill streak, the new personal best record for the From Scratch series. Let's keep it going. Round 2, we win the rock, paper, scissors. We're going first.
No HTs.
Elixir of White Destiny. Oh man, you already know this is going to be so much fun. Allowing that to go through, it's followed up with an Nadir Servant. So we negate that one with Harbinger, and he scoops. Get rinsed, mate. Easy money going into game 2. This time we're going second. Opening up a pretty solid hand with the Gamma instead of the Driver for once, and a Nadir Servant comes down searching for Ecclesia. We do hit her with the Gamma, preventing a search for punishment and getting rid of the threat of a Fleur-de-Lis, so a very good target for the Gamma. This is followed up with another White Destiny, summoning Golden Lord from the deck, 3 set back row, and it's over to us. Our opponent does summon a Maximus in the end phase off of Titaniclad for the 3k booty, but it's not doing anything on our turn. Arboria off the top is very good for comboing, assuming we can start off our plays, but on our normal summon of Maximus, a Conquistador gets flipped, destroying the Maximus. From here we need to Foolish a Draco to the graveyard to revive with World Legacy Guardragon, but our Foolish gets judgmented, and from there, there's nothing we can do. From here, our opponent can just snowball from both Eldritch and Dogmatica plays, and there's absolutely nothing we can do. Even though we do get a turn and draw into a quick launch, there's just too many negates for us to deal with, and it's on to game 3. Alright, once again going first here, we definitely open up an interesting hand with different lines of play. Our Crusadia plays are allowed to go through with Skipper and Maximus, and it just appears that this Eldritch Dogmatica build does not seem to be running hand traps. So cue the interactive Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay. We get to the exact same board that won game 1. We even have Imperial Order, so we don't have to worry about Dark Ruler no more. That was a really lucky draw off of Chaos Space. Looks like we're continuing the kill streak, boy. I mean, I guess it kinda makes sense. Neither Eldritch or Dogmatica necessarily need their normal summon. Spheres getting tributed, however, does summon a dragon from the deck, and I opt to go for Absorouter because we do still have Rokket Synchron in the deck. Our opponent does beat over it, triggering its effect with Ecclesia, and then crashes the Fleur-de-Lis into our Harbinger. Now with 3 back row to deal with as well, we're gonna have to come up with something huge, especially when we top deck a dead quick launch. I start by using the effect of Seyfert to banish itself and return Borrowload Savage to the extra deck. From there I activate World Legacy Guardragon to add Collapserpent back to my hand. If we want to win this game, then we need access to our key board pieces, so by banishing our Hope Harbinger to summon the Wyverburster, we can return it to the extra deck with Chaos Space and get a draw, and we draw into Cosmic Cyclone. Now normal summoning our Rokket Synchron, I can revive Absorouter, and that is the materials for Borrowload Savage to come back out onto the field, but the summon gets hit with a Solemn Strike. Now because there are no longer 2 or more light or dark dragons on the field, we've missed our opportunity to summon Spiral. From here I go into the battle phase and suicide the Collapserpent into the 2000 attack Ecclesia to trigger Brotaur in our graveyard, ditching the quick launch to get a search for Levianeer. I feel like there's no point summoning it right now. I'd rather summon it in a position where we can win the game, so instead I just link into Striker Dragon, getting Boot Sector launch to hand, set the Cosmic Cyclone, and pass it over, and in my end phase, the Sphere Mode switches sides. Sphere Mode can't be targeted by card effects or for an attack, so we're going to have to blow that up with Levianeer, unfortunately. Our opponent doesn't really do anything, just attacks over Striker Dragon and passes turn. So Boot Sector launch is going to be huge here, getting 2 monsters from our graveyard, potentially putting us up into the Borrow Sword. This also makes Spiral live, so we fetch that from the graveyard, and there's so many things that those 2 back row can be that I am playing it really safe with the Imperial Order and the Cosmic Cyclone. Assuming that one of the back row is a Strike or a Judgment, I link link up into a Halki Fibrax to sort of threaten a Borrow Sword and get him worrying about that, and then out of nowhere I go for the Levianeer, which should allow me to clear the board in combination with Cosmic Cyclone and take the game. Well, that would be the case if it wasn't for Dogmatica Punishment. So sending Entis, he pops Halki Fibrax, and then Entis pops Galactic Spiral because I haven't used its effect yet. Oh boy. Yep, the second sphere mode seals the deal. There's nothing we can do anymore. We've ran out of all of our resources. Realistically, I probably could have played that so much better and potentially even won the game. Sadly, it is what it is. The kill streak is over, but we did get a new personal best, and we get some extra pennies towards next week's budget. I do want to play one more round though and see if we can get at least one Dragoon in this episode. So here we go, round 3, we win the rock, paper, scissors, going first. Game 2, going first. Fuck it, never mind. We were against Salomon Great, by the way, so no Dragoons were summoned. God, this is the first negative episode we've had in a while. Don't get used to it because we're gonna come back swinging next time. So the nuke is slipping away, but honestly I really don't mind because it's a huge weight off my shoulders. Realistically, a 25 win streak is almost impossible, especially against the meta. So it got to the point where I just didn't want to play or record matches due to the pressure of having to win. I'm more sad about the fact that we didn't actually see a single Dragoon today, so the plan for the next episode is to make it Dragoon everywhere. We also get a nice little bonus of £12.50 towards next week's budget, so that means potentially 3 tins and even more chances to pull our own Dragoon and make the final build of the deck. I think we're going to have a whole lot of fun with the next few episodes, and I'm really excited to close out the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch. Anyway, we're going to round it off here before my editing software shits itself yet again. Thank you so much for watching. If you have made it this far, if you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you would consider tickling that like button. And finally, subscribe to the channel because Season 2 is on the horizon, and you're going to want to be there for the start of it. See you later.
To slow down, fireplace, do you